This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Suspect charged in connection with double murder in Trenchtown. The Kingston West Police have charged a suspect in connection with a double murder in Trenchtown 3 months ago. Kimo Francis, 27, also known as Not Nice, has been charged with the fatal shooting of 23-year-old Elvin James and the 16-year-old Damoya Hall. On June 13, the two individuals were at home when heavily armed men stormed the premises and shot them. Senior Superintendent Michael Phipps, head of the Kingston West Police, told the news that other suspects have been identified in the case and are being sought. Indicom finalizing report on trimming of Rastafarian woman's locks in police custody. The Independent Commission of Investigations, Indicom, says it is finalizing its report concerning the alleged trimming of Rastafarian woman Nzinga King while in police custody. Ms. King says her locks were cut while she was being held at Four Pods Police Station in Clarendon on July 22. Questioned about the lengthy probe into the case, Indicom Commissioner Hugh Faulkner on Thursday explained that the Commission has carried out extensive investigations and will not act hastily in releasing its findings.
You can be assured that we have received written statements from the complainant and family. We have interviewed officers at the Four Pods Police Station. We have recorded statements, and where the written statements are provided, the interview provides further opportunity for clarification, explanation, etc. to be provided. Our teams inspected the cell that Ms. King was in, and all those materials are now with our legal department. While, again, we understand the timeline that the public would seek to impose on the matter, we have to ensure that our processes are thorough and complete. There are instances where statements are given and we may need further statements or we may need initial statements. And in many instances, we have to accommodate postponements to facilitate the witness with whom we are seeking to interact. So we could not just abort the process in the interest of expedition and sacrifice thoroughness.
Desperate search for 16-year-old girl reported missing in Clarendon. An Ananda alert has been activated for 16-year-old Abigail Binns of Moko Road, Moko, Clarendon, who has been missing since Thursday, September 30. She is of brown complexion, medium build, and about 152 centimeters or 5 feet tall. Reports from the Four Pods Police are that about 3 p.m., Abigail was last seen at home wearing a burgundy dress and a pair of black shoes. She has not been heard from since. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Abigail Binns is being asked to contact the Four Pods Police at 876-987-0429, Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Montego Bay Mayor calls for speedy passage of new Road Traffic Act. Mayor of Montego Bay and Chairman of the St. James Municipal Corporation, Councillor Leroy Williams, is urging the government to move with alacrity in completing and implementing regulations for the new Road Traffic Act. Mayor Williams' call comes against the background of a number of road crashes which have occurred along the section of the North Coast Highway from the roundabout at Donald Sangster International Airport to the St. James Trelawney border, more popularly known as Elegant Corridor. The latest crash, which involved 5 vehicles, occurred on Thursday night and left 53-year-old Lincoln Blake, a vendor of Wellington Street in Falmouth, Trelawney, dead and a number of other people hospitalized. Mayor Williams said the new Road Traffic Act could play a major role in curbing excessive speeding and breaches which take place along the Elegant Corridor and other roadways. We continue to see and hear of motorists racing along the Elegant Corridor, and this oftentimes leads to deadly crashes. I am very confident that once the new Road Traffic Act is passed into law and is enforced by the Jamaica Constabulary Force, We should see a change in the driving habits by those who continue to breach, he said. He added that the amended Road Traffic Act, which has new offenses, larger fines, and harsher penalties for motor vehicle operators who breach the law, will assist in curbing the bad driving practices, as once caught offenders will no longer get away lightly. Meanwhile, Counsel for the Rose Hall Division, Anthony Murray, said there needs to be some infrastructural changes along sections of the Rose Hall Main Road, noting that the area has become a speeding trap. Councillor Murray is also of the view that the section of the highway which runs from Rose Hall to Greenwood should be designated a school zone to force motorists to reduce their speed. Among the offenses for which heavy fines will be imposed under the new Road Traffic Act are driving without the required motor vehicle insurance coverage, $20,000, driving motor vehicle without being the holder of a permit or driver's license, $40,000, failure of the driver to obey the traffic light, $24,000, loud noise within silent zones and failure to wear a protective helmet, $5,000, failure to comply with traffic signs, $10,000, and failure to stop at pedestrian crossing, $12,000. Mayor Williams also used the opportunity to extend condolences to the family and friends of Blake and is hoping that those who were injured will recover quickly. Opposition unhappy with increased BOJ interest rates. The opposition People's National Party has taken issue with the decision of the central bank to raise interest rates to maintain the annual inflation rate at 4% to 6%. The spokesman on finance, Julian Robinson, said the increase in interest rates will drive up borrowing costs for businesses and customers who are already struggling to survive in a very challenging economic environment. The Bank of Jamaica has announced that it will be increasing the policy interest rate offered on overnight balances from deposit-taking institutions from 0.50% to 1.5%. According to Robinson, cost factors external to Jamaica and primarily driven by the global supply chain are mainly pushing the inflation rate towards 6%. Increasing domestic interest rates at this time won't influence those factors, he said. Robinson said many businesses that rely on imports of raw materials and finished goods are already facing significant increases in freight costs, and increased interest rates will put further pressure on them and ultimately on consumers to whom these costs will be passed. He said there will be continued upward inflationary pressures in the short term while the global supply chain problems persist, but these should abate in the medium term. While the country is recovering from the devastating economic impact of COVID, it is important to maintain interest rates at a level that encourages investment and business expansion, which are necessary to achieve recovery in the shortest possible time, said Robinson. Robinson notes that the recently announced growth rate of 14% for the second quarter must be viewed within the context of a decline of 18% for the corresponding quarter last year. Search on for elderly woman swept away in Sandy Gully. The police and residents of Jewsland St. Andrew are now trying to locate a 78-year-old woman who was washed away in the Sandy Gully on Thursday. The woman was reportedly tending to her goats at about 5 p.m. when the incident happened. Speaking with the news this morning, commanding officer for the St. Andrew South Police Division, Superintendent Kirk Ricketts, said the search and rescue operation started Thursday evening but was halted when it became dark. We are back at it early this morning to see if we can locate her. We are hoping for a miracle that she can be located alive. Nevertheless, the intention is to find her as quickly as possible, Ricketts said. Foreign investors must comply too, says NSWMA boss. Executive Director of the National Solid Waste Management Authority, Audley Gordon, has declared that foreign investors will not be spared as the agency intensifies its effort to curb the wanton littering that has been taking place across the island. He noted that one particular ethnic group is a major contributor to the improper disposal of commercial waste. We have noticed right across Jamaica that particular ethnic group is setting up businesses in every little nook and cranny of Jamaica, and we have to get them to comply. They have to play their part in keeping the island clean, Gordon said. but did not specify the group to which he was referring. He also argued that although Jamaica welcomes foreign direct investment, investors should be mindful of local laws, including those regarding the disposal of solid waste. We don't have a difficulty with businesses coming in. It creates employment. It adds to what we are trying to do in terms of the gross domestic arrangements, but we have to do it the right way, and we're gonna do it in a way that don't dirty up Jamaica, Gordon added during an interview with the news. The NSWMA boss also implored Jamaicans to take personal responsibility in ensuring that their solid waste is discarded properly. The truth is that no matter the amount of trucks we get, if people don't properly containerize their garbage, we will have a problem. If they toss the garbage all over the place, we will have a problem. So yes, there is need for more trucks, but there is also need for better containerization. There is also need for less of wanton littering, Gordon added. He suggested that an increase in the fines for littering may be a deterrent. Jamaica no clean like New York, partly because Jamaica has to work with a fine structure that is laughable. When you fine a man for littering in Jamaica, him laugh after you because the fine is nothing, the NSWMA boss said during a public education blitz and a tour of Linstead St. Catherine on Wednesday. The tour, which also involved counsel for the Linstead Division, Herbert Garriquez, was aimed at devising solutions for solid waste management issues in the Linstead area. Similar tours have been conducted in Old Harbour, Spanish Town, and to Portmore, all in St. Catherine. Gordon said his team will head to St. Thomas next week. We are all over trying to communicate and build out relationships as we try to manage the solid waste. But we need trucks and we need the people, of course, to better manage their garbage and take some personal responsibility, Gordon added. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.